So welcome back to another weekly Locals Report, and of course I'm playing Traptrix again. So again, like last time, this is not a deck profile video, this is just a recap the matchups that I had. So just to summarise, I had technically 3 matchups this time at Locals, and you can see that essentially things have stayed similar. So you've got your Traptrix package over here, 3 Parallax Seeds, Holly Tier. I'm still sticking with the 2-2-2 of these good hull traps. And then I've got the 3 of generics here, so Imperm, Ash and Evenly. And then I've got my 3 pots to dig for things I need, 1 Traptrix Garden to search off the Pudica, and then the 3 flex spots that I talked about last week have been replaced by these. So I took out some of those, the Shelled Crown, I took out the Borea, and I put in 2 Lancia to try and protect myself against evenly matched, and also 1 Called by the Grave, because if you watch my last video, you'll know that I basically got Rafflesia on board. I got to my 5th summon, they nibbed, and then I tried to Rafflesia to send Gravediggers and got Effect Veilered, so I was kind of a little bit still like triggered by that, so I decided to put in a Called by the Grave. So in terms of how I did, my first matchup was actually against Labrynth. So basically I go to Locals with my boyfriend and he's playing Labrynth at the moment, and there's just like a running joke at Locals. Round 1 is actually random and we get paired so often. But hey ho. So Labrynth matchup, I just drew a really bad going first hand. You know, I just didn't draw any starters. I drew Arachnocampa, which you kind of don't want to see in your opening hand. I am starting to think now if I should just take Arachnocampa down to 1. Because let's face it, you don't want to draw her. So I'm just thinking if I take her down to 1, you know, I'm always going to be able to search her. You know, using Traptrix Mantis if I need to extend. You know, to be honest, I'm quite tempted. I'll have to play around with the ratios, but I'm tempted to take 1 Arachnocampa out just to try and get a better first hand. And then I think I basically lost the first game, even though I think I went first. I think he just happened to have the outs. I think Sphere moded me or something like that. But I somehow won that one by game 3, which was cool. I don't really think there's much to report on that match. It's just a case of I had the Harpy's Feather Duster for the last game against him, so he just scooped. Okay, so moving on swiftly to my match against Flu. So this was, I obviously lost the matchup, so I think I just lost both games in a row. I think the one thing that I think would really have helped is if I had had this in my side. If I had drawn Lockbird, I mean, it just really, really kills that deck. You know, I had Memelio in the graveyard. I used Holitia to try and banish to get Memelio on the field in order to pop the map, because the map field spell is a problem. It just facilitates endless normal summons. So I tried to do that, and even through that, they just carried on playing one of the games. And I think when I in one of the games when I went first and I set up board, they happened to have Evenly, and at the point I think I had a Floodgate trap hole, I had an Imperm set, and I had some other trap holes. So I was like, okay, I'm going to keep the Imperm, because basically you just want to target the Rabina. If you can target their Rabina, normal summon, you just shut the entire thing down. Unfortunately, they did have the out, which is the Floowandereeze quick play spell. I think it's the Advent of Adventure, the one that was released in back, that's not been reprinted yet. And you know, they just could carry on with their day. So you know, I really tried. Yeah, and they also had DD Crows, which really, really interrupted whenever I got Dionea out. You have to target which Traptrix you want to get out, and they basically cock-blocked my comeback play, because I could have easily gone to rank 4 and just started doing stuff. So yeah, that was kind of rough. So I think the takeaway lesson for Flu is probably John Lockbirds, to be honest. And I think this would hit any other combo heavy deck as well. The way I lost was basically I went first again. And they happened to have the out, so I think they Harpy Feather dusted my back row, and then they also and then they used Lightning Storm to destroy my face of attack position stuff. So that was kind of rough. I mean, I think I did side solemns, but I have to say not that many. So I'm just looking at my sides right now. Yeah, I had 3 solemns on the side, but at no point did I side all 3. I tended to just side it as a one of. I'm just thinking, should I be siding as a 3 if I'm going to be going first? I'm just thinking I might have to do that, even though it is a bit costly, and I'm always aware of time rules as well, especially going game 3. So yeah, I think my takeaway is drawn lock for Flu. So moving on to my third matchup. This was actually against Runic Spright. It was a really fun matchup actually, and I think Floodgate. So not Runic Spright, my bad. Live Twin Spright. Floodgate Trap Hole was kind of good because they'll summon stuff out, and as soon as you know they're going to go into a link or a rank, you just basically flip one of those things face down, and that kind of helps. So Floodgate Trap Hole wasn't too bad. They don't really activate much in hand, I don't think, so Gravedigger's Trap Hole didn't help too much. It only helped for Nibiru, but then they had a lot of negates out, you know, with I think Carrot or Red, I can't remember which way around it is. One's the trap negate and spell negate, and one's the monster negate. That wasn't super helpful. I never managed to get an imperm off either onto their gigantic Spright. The one interaction, however, which I found really cool, I think we were like going into Chain Link 3, and basically he chained Spright Smashes, you know, to one of my cards, and I think he picked the effect, which is to banish one level, rank, or link 2 monster they control and one card I control, and then I basically Chain Link 4, I tributed Lancia from my hand, making the Spright Smashes fizzle. So that was a really cool interaction. It's probably the only time I really got to use Lancia. So that was cool. Actually, that reminds me, backtracking slightly, game 1 against Labrynth. Yeah, I should probably have known this, but basically the Big Welcome Labrynth, if you banish it from the graveyard, it acts as a compulsory evacuation device, so they can spin a monster back to your hand, provided they have, I think, a level 8 Fiend monster. Or highest level Fiend monster on the field. So if I had known, I probably should have just shotgunned Lancia to stop them doing that, and I think that would have allowed me to carry on playing a bit more, and also stop them from getting more field advantage, because I think they had Ariana on hand, and then she got to draw and set and, you know, do things as Labrynth do. So that might have helped a little bit. But I had a chat with my boyfriend afterwards, and he said it probably wouldn't have made much difference, because he would have just been like, okay, I'll just wait till next turn to activate it. So that's that. So with the Spright, going back to, the Spright Live Twin matchup, we ended up drawing, because I think yeah, we won 1 each, and then we went to time, and he managed to double the attack of his gigantic Spright using some kind of spell or something and hit into the Sierra. I think that is one thing that is quite frustrating about the Sierra, is that she's so small. She literally has to stay in attack position, and she takes 800, and she's only 800 attack. So I'm not really sure if there's anything that can be done about that, really. I find that, you know, that is frustrating. I'll have to have a little think. And then my fourth matchup was meant to be against, I believe, a branded player, but he decided to drop after pairings, so I got an auto win. So I ended up coming 5th at locals in a 4-round Swiss tournament, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I guess I got 1 win for free. So just to quickly recap over my extra deck. So not much really changed. Standard Traptrix stuff going on here, same as last time. And then the things I decided to change, this is also same as last time, Springans and Zeus. The Time Thief. I decided to add a Lingarebo just in case there were any Iblis running around, because we do have some Cyburst players. And I also add an Evil Swarm X tonight just in case I needed some board wipe, but never really reached for them, actually. So I guess this is a bit more of a concise report versus last time. I guess the main take-homes are probably Drodon Locks. I think I'm going to be adding to my side. So if I just show you my sideboard, I reckon Drodon Locks would have helped immensely against the Runic Live Twin as well. So this time I had 3 Nibiru, didn't really get that off. Had Kaiju, so this actually came into handy during my first game against Labby. Managed to activate the Kaiju Slumber, and then summoned Godala to my side of the field, and I think Humongous to their side. Yeah, just did a little bit of damage that way. I think in terms of ratios when siding, I think it's 1 Interrupted Kaiju +2, or Yugioh 2 and 3, I think it is the ratio when siding that. So those bits, that's the sort of new spice here, you know, for this week, but didn't really go into too much. These really were good. The Harpy's Feather Duster got me the, won me with against Labrynth, really. That was just really lucky, to be honest. And then Solemns, which I think I should side more. So in summary, I think what I'll be doing is mostly making changes to my side. So Drawn Lockbird, I think I'll definitely add. I'm going to try and side Solemn a little bit more often. Especially when I'm going first, and just see how that does. Definitely still keeping my back row hate package going on. In terms of the kaijus, I still want to see how this does. You know, I think it's got legs, so I think I might just keep that. I don't think there's any point chopping and changing too often, because I just want to, you know, obviously 3 matches isn't representative. And then in terms of the nibs, I guess I could change them too, but we'll see. But I'm definitely going to try and side Solemn more, definitely put the Drolls and Locks in and have a little think about what I want to do with the nibs. I've also got Gallant Granite, so I guess I could search into that. And then in terms of the stuff that I changed last time, so if I just dig through all of this stuff, the 2 Lanciers and Called by the Graves. You know, I think 2 Lancia I'm okay with. I'm okay with it. It has its uses. Called by, I drew this a lot today, and I have to say it wasn't particularly useful, you know, when I had it, because this deck, it doesn't die too hard to an Ash, I don't think. Because as long as you can get into a Sarah and you've got some stuff on the back row, you're not too bad. So I might take Called by the Grave out as much as I got triggered and still haunted by what happened to me with Mathmech last time, with a Nib and Veiler on Rafflesia. So I'm going to have a little think what I do with this Called by, and I will update you next week. So yeah, thank you for watching, especially if you sticked it through to the end of the video, and hopefully I'll be back again with another locals report soon.